What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mini Trades back with another YouTube video, and today we are going to be talking about my pre-market planning and what I'm thinking throughout the day, because today we nailed the crap out of YBIO. This has been kind of the trend we've been seeing recently, right? Into open, we see one or two pre-market runners, and then this is what we saw today: two pre-market runners into open, and then one TWOU, which is going randomly, right? It just kind of comes out of nowhere. We've been seeing that a lot, so less of pre-market runners last week and more of random intraday runners. So we'll see how it is this week. Today it's been a little bit of both. So we were able to catch the pre-market runner. Today we have YBIO and TIVC. TIVC trading with 74 million shares so far. Pretty nice. It's this was nice. Over here it's been a little bit choppy, but you have to be pretty precise on your entries. Um, TWOU pretty, like I said, nice run up, but it's no pre-market run, so that's kind of the trend we've been seeing. I think 266 base, right? This line comes from the lower wick right here. After this 266 base, we'll start to see that move towards new highs, which might just happen right now. So I think it's a nice setup. But let's go over YBIO. Why did I take this? We nailed it from 475 into open, and then on the way up to 550s. And then final scales were around the unhaul at 7. So this was a perfect picture perfect trade. Now, my pre-market plan on this YBIO on voice was this, right? So I'm looking at YBIO, I'm looking at all these runners, and I see this massive upper wick here, right? So this upper wick tells me, hey, we have a lot of sellers here. But I wasn't awake I wasn't trading at this time. I was awake, but I wasn't trading. I wasn't on the desk. So I didn't see this. So in hindsight, right, there's leftover liquidity here. After you break this high, market makers grab liquidity and then control the walk down back to where accumulation is, right? So that's kind of my analysis here. We have high, market makers push it above the high, grab all the liquidity that they need. Notice how when I talk about grab all of the liquidity that they need, this was the highest volume in pre-market, right? The highest volume, but almost one of the smallest moves, right? So highest volume meaning 713,000 shares traded on this candle. But then also we have moves the size of this with not even 1/7 of that volume, right? So this is 100K volume. This is 700K volume, and then we have almost a bigger green candle here, 12% and 8%, right? So this is actually a bigger green candle on 1/7 of the move or of the volume. So that tells us that we are getting accumulated, or sellers and shorts are accumulating a position here. So that's why you do volume price analysis in pre-market. That can clearly tell you sellers are here. So what we do is mark out our resistance, right? And what I would do here is kind of mark out this whole zone as resistance, right? This whole area, this high, and then kind of that right there, right? The high, and then also the candle opens and candle closes. So this whole area is kind of that resistance. So is this a good risk reward trade? Yes, but how do I find these levels? So what I do is I like to zoom out, right? I like to zoom out because if I'm like right here, if I'm super zoomed into it, I lose sight of what's really going on, right? I get caught up by this volume candle, oh, high volume. You want to zoom out a little bit and see where the run actually started. All right, so my candle to candle analysis is this right here. We have shorts up here, right? Okay, we come here, shorts again. What's going on the way up here? Where do buyers really step in? And the thing that I noticed the most about this is that we have a upper wick right here and a ton of selling pressure coming. You guys see this selling volume is more volume on the day than any other candle at that time between this and this right here, right? This came in and surged, but before this candle, this selling pressure is the most. And with that being said, all the selling pressure should have made a move to the downside, right? Should have continued down. But instead, we're actually holding up. And that's why I have this line at 450. We're holding up. We accumulated whatever came down here and then squeezed it. So what does that tell you? That tells me that, hey, this level right here, 450, is super strong. This is where buyers are sitting. This is where shorts came in and got trapped. So this is going to be a very significant level. And you guys can see once again, after we test 450 again, we kind of trapped, right? So we might even see another move on YBIO while market makers and people start to accumulate more shares. But after this, you guys can see it perfectly. trapped, right? So that level was perfect. And then now we also see, okay, 450, we broke below it. So what's next? What's going to hold next? And to me, I zoom out once again. And I look for what's holding. And to me, the structure that started this run up and started the uptrend is this candle right here. This is the super clean candle. Really no lower wick on this candle, right? And that tells me there's probably leftover liquidity. So you guys can see lower wick on this candle, lower wick on this candle, lower wick on this candle. So we kind of grabbed all the liquidity here. But the only candle that does not have a lower wick is this candle. So we have leftover liquidity from 432 to 409, right? So this is where if we come down to this area, we're probably going to get soaked up. And this finishes the liquidity grab, start to head back up towards new highs. So what are we going to do? We're going to mark that zone out. So we have our two lines of support. Then we have the liquidity test, right? This is most important test, right? Remember, lower wick, lower wick, lower wick. No lower wick right here. So we still need to come down here. So once we come down here, what happens? We start to consolidate into this level, and that's perfect. So my pre-market plan wasn't on this level. It was to see it hold, okay? After we see it hold, I wanted to see a break of this 470 structure, right? And then break out, which was this line, 450 area, and then pull back into it. So that's exactly what we saw on the smaller time frame. On the 5-minute time frame, we held over this 460 structure, right? We kind of closed over it, and then we played the pullback, 468, which was exactly the pre-market plan where we break out, close over, play the retest into this previous structure, right? And then we start to make that move up. And I did not expect that big of a move, but we did get it, so I'm happy with that. The team banked with me. Everyone on Voice caught it with me, and this was the most incredible trade of the day. If you guys learned something from this analysis, enjoy it, drop a like, share with someone that might need it, and subscribe, turn on post notifications because there's a lot of education coming. So if you guys want to trade live with me for free every single day, check out the link in the bio. It's for free. You guys can check that out. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.